going to talk about some of the hormones that are going to be affected by intermittent fasting, what these hormones are and what they do. Insulin. Insulin is an important hormone. If it's too low, then it can stress the body just like cortisol. Cortisol is a good hormone, but if it gets too low, it can stress the body. Too high is where it normally is on the majority of Americans. We have high insulin levels, which causes stored fat. Insulin is how your body is storing fat. That's one of the main hormones that is used to store that fat. So intermittent fasting will help to decrease your insulin levels. Think about it. You're going 12 to 16 hours without foods that raise your insulin levels. We know those foods that raise insulin levels, high sugar foods, high carbs foods, foods with high glycemic index are going to spike those insulin levels. It's a good thing. It is far overused. Which leads us to our next thing. It lowers insulin resistance. Insulin resistance means your body doesn't know how to absorb that insulin. If it's not absorbing it, that means it is just floating around through your body and then getting stored as body fat. That's not what we want. Some people know for a fact they've been diagnosed with insulin resistance and then they realize that's why I can't lose weight. A lot of people might be on the verge of insulin resistance, they just don't know it. Your body isn't using the insulin release, so it stores it as fat. This is a big problem and leads to type 2 diabetes. Going to your satiety hormones, okay? These are hormones that signal to the brain that you are satisfied with the food that you are getting, but it's also being released during the time of fasting, so it helps to regulate hormones. Another good thing is that when you go through a period like that without eating, it also increases your dopamine, so when you eat that first meal of the day, you enjoy it a whole lot more. It's much more pleasurable. Me in my head, this isn't science, this is just me in my brain, when I do something like deprive myself of the pleasure of food, because I love food, let me tell you, I am much more intentional of eating something that is great for me as my first meal. We do a lot of cage-free, pasture-raised eggs and an organic turkey sausage or chicken sausage. That's a lot of what we kind of go to for our first meal of the day because it's high protein, little to no carbohydrates. That's what we want, Olivia and I, when we go to our first meal of the day, especially after intermittent fasting. So the satiety hormones, let's talk about these that we're going to focus on today: glucagon, adiponectin, and neuropeptide Y. Glucagon, what it is doing, it is a major factor of the fat release and utilization. When insulin helps with energy, so does stored fat, especially when these hormones are coming into place, again, being released during intermittent fasting. So if the glucagon helps to release the fat, it also helps to utilize it as energy. Adiponectin, noted to help the body move fat from the visceral to the subcutaneous. Visceral fat is around our organs, inside of our stomach, and lines up everything, which leads to heart disease. This is a well-known fact. Pretty much everybody can agree upon. The subcutaneous fat is around the belly region. That's not ideal to have that fat, but you've seen those bodybuilders, for example, that are lean and have the muscle, but their belly is so big. Still, they have a lot of that visceral fat. Leads to heart disease, we need to be careful. But it goes to the subcutaneous fat, which we don't want. However, these other hormones are being released to make sure that they are being utilized. Your body is going to utilize your subcutaneous fat quicker than it is going to utilize your visceral fat. And then last of the satiety hormones that we're going to talk about today is neuropeptide Y. And this is my favorite because it increases fat loss while retaining muscle mass. I don't want you to lose muscle mass. I want you to burn that fat. If you lose weight, great. If you don't, that's also okay too. Different people are at different stages in life and need different things. All these hormones are going to help each and every one of you help your body work more efficiently. And the last hormone that we're going to talk about being released, and this is an increase in the human growth hormone, also noted as the youth hormone. It can increase up to 5-fold through intermittent fasting. It helps to support muscular development. Some people will take this as a supplement. I don't encourage that. but it does help to build muscle mass. We took a class at our fitness conference one time, and they were talking about how much human growth hormone is increased overnight. Everybody's, for the most part, fasting at least 8 hours a night while you're sleeping. Imagine doing that 12 to 16 hours. It can be released again up to 5-fold. So it supports muscle development, protecting against muscle loss, enhances cellular repair, very, very important, and improves overall energy. The benefits of intermittent fasting have been stated in this person and that person, this opinion and that person, but the research is what I want to focus on. My concept of this is that it should help everybody. If you're trying to burn fat, if you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to lose weight, I'm personally trying to gain weight with my goals. I'm still practicing this intermittent fasting because the hormones are things that are hard to always know because you can't always see them. A lot of people don't know what all these words are until you read about them, until you study them a little bit more, but these are the main reason we're able to get the results that we are looking for, okay? So remember, we're gonna do more videos as the weeks come on through brain health, through metabolic health, through gut health, and then again, how women are different and might have different specified needs through the intermittent fasting. So stay tuned. Remember, you can sign up for the challenge, you can comment on any of our videos, or we have a sign-up sheet at the front desk when you come in. We'll see you soon.